This is the Speaking of Writers podcast. I'm Steve Richards. The book is It Starts at the Dinner Table. What I Wish I Knew Before I Left Home. The author is Dr. Eric N. Haley. It Starts at the Dinner Table is a self-help book to help 11 to 25-year-olds to set goals and plan out their life so that they can be successful. Too often, young people drift along in life and lose too many valuable years wherein they could be productive. The author is Dr. Eric N. Haley, and he joins me now. Welcome to the Speaking of Writers podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, I make no bones about it. I am a born again Christian. I was inspired by the Holy Spirit to give a tool to the young generation so that they have clarity on what life is really all about, have meaning, and set their priorities straight. So I was inspired by the Holy Spirit to write this. I wrote it in 30 days.
Wow. Dr. Haley, you talk about falling into the 40-40-40 rule of life in this book. What exactly is that?
Well, people who have power, they like conformity. So what do our parents tell us? Hey, you need to go to school to get a good job so you can, get a good education first so you can get a good job. And then we fall into that rut of 80% of people. They work 40 years, 40 hours a week. And when they retire, they live off about 40% of their gross monthly income that they were making each month. And life has more to offer than that.
So, what can young people do? What do they need to do?
Well, the earlier they can figure out what they want to do in life, the better they will be off. They'll save a lot of years of just drifting. Most people get serious about age 25. They look around, they see their peers are passing them up, those who went to vocational school or 4-year school or even a junior college. And then they realize, hey, I better get with it. Life is passing me by. And so, so that's when they get serious. So that's why I like to address the 11 to 25-year-olds. I've been working with that group most of my life. And I think I have a gift for reaching that age group because I want to save them time of wasted years, because the quicker you make a decision, the quicker you can get into your career. There's only about 5 or 6 questions you really need to know about life. And then you can have a big impact on the world. And I just want to be a servant to others. That's the whole inspiration for this. And the more people I help, the more people, good things that happen in this world.
What are the biggest mistakes that young people make?
Wasting time, not being focused. They want to fit in. So friends are like elevators. Some lift you up and some bring you down. So that's my analogy. So there's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. So you want to be associated with people that have, first of all, a right mental attitude or a positive mental attitude. So you're going to be known. I can tell your future by the friends you associate with. It's called the law of averages. If you especially once you get grown, your salary is going to be the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Think about that. So that's why I always hang around with millionaires, and occasionally I get in the company of billionaires. And even millionaires, people I hang out with, they usually have billionaires come and speak to them in various speaking groups around the world. Not that I'm not better than anyone, but I know that they think a little differently than the average person.
Dr. Haley, it's one thing to have goals and talk about them, but you stress in this book the importance of writing them down.
Yes, because Ivy League schools, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, many of them have done studies on the most successful people. And the thing all these studies had in common was the people that write down their goals succeed 3 times more often than people who just have them in their head. One study even said that people that write down their goals reach them 97% of the time. The only ones that really don't reach them is some situation that's out of their control, death or some disease or something. But writing down your goal, we think in pictures. When you write it down, you see it and it gets into your subconscious. And so you're more likely to stick with it.
Dr. Haley, you mentioned earlier it took you 30 days to write this book. What was the biggest challenge in writing it?
Um, Sticking to a schedule. I would tell my wife, I say, honey, from 8 to 9 every night, I'm gonna go in my office, and if you can give me that space. And so you have to communicate with your wife and family so they know what's going on too, so they can be on board. It makes it easier when you set that time. You got to be committed to a time slot to write. It's like a good habit or a bad habit. So yeah, it's just curving out that time and sticking with it.
You mentioned earlier about the studies, the Ivy League studies. What was your research process like for this book? I know you've worked with and continue to work with, kids in this age range.
Okay, well, I'm an avid reader, and several of my mentors told me I read 10 pages of a good book every day,
Yeah.
and reading is the primary way we self learn. We teach ourselves, and so because of all the reading I do, this is what happened to me in the fourth grade. I had a friend. He had a great comic book collection. So he started me on my journey to reading every day. And I found out that comic books are written on a fifth to eighth grade level. So I increased my reading level, my understanding level by 4 years in the fourth grade because all I did was read comic books all day in the
Mm.
fourth grade. And when I would take verbal tests, aptitude tests in elementary school, my vocabulary level tested out at eighth grade level because of all the reading I started doing in the fourth grade. So it's a good habit to have.
Yeah. What's the best thing about being a writer?
Having finished, there's a saying writers love having finished because there's always challenges and distractions to try to keep you from finishing your book or your article. I've been writing since the sixth grade. I had a Spanish teacher named Mr. Perez. He pointed out that I had a gift for writing. He said, "Don't worry about punctuation. Don't worry about conventions. Just get your ideas down on paper, and we'll go from there." So he entered my poem, "The Lost World of Utopia." Utopia is a perfect world, in a poetry contest, and I won. So I've had the bug for writing ever since.
Are you working on another book?
I'm thinking about putting an anthology together because I used to be a newspaper reporter. I write a monthly column right now for the Central Valley Voice in Northern California. And I've probably written over 200 articles for them over the past few years. And my son in law suggested, he said, "Hey, Dad, you ever thought about putting all your articles in an anthology?" And so I'm thinking about putting that together. Also, I do have another book out I put out in 2004 called Invertebrate America, The Spiritual Implosion. So everything that I put in that book in 2004 has come to pass and is happening even today. Wars and rumors of wars,
Mm.
worldwide pestilences, just the conditions of the world in general.
So some more to come, maybe an anthology from Dr. Eric N. Haley. So when readers finish that last page of this book, what would you like them to take away from it?
Well, this book serves two purposes: to give people hope today, because it looks like the world is falling apart. But one of the things, I'm an avid reader. I told you I'm a Christian, and part of the Bible, about 33% of the Bible is prophecy. That means history written in advance. So I want people to go away with a sense of hope, and also the last paragraph in that book. I let people know about if you're feeling down, you're down and out. If you're a homeless person, out on drugs, wanting to commit suicide, dial 988. Talk to someone and get the help you need. So this book will give you help and hope. and hopefully you accept Jesus Christ in the process. It's a witnessing tool also.
The book is It Starts at the Dinner Table, What I Wish I Knew Before I Left Home. It is out now. The author is Dr. Eric N. Haley. It's available at Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com as well. Dr. Haley, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. And I hope everyone go to my webpage, Haley, Haley. I'm a cousin of Alex Haley that wrote Roots, HaleyMinistries.com. And you can look at some of the other works that I have on my website. And I thank you.
HaleyMinistries.com.
Yeah, plural, Haley, then Ministries, plural.com. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for your valuable time. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Haley. Dr. Eric N. Haley, again, It Starts at the Dinner Table. And that is the Speaking of Writers podcast. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve Richards.